The Chicago Bulls have finally snapped their 11-game losing streak against the Milwaukee Bucks here tonight, and there were some key positives and players to look at coming out of this game, and we're going to get into that right after this. The Chicago Bulls take home a win today at the United Center, and it was quite a statement win, finally snapping that 11-game losing streak. They won 120-97, and they got outscored in the first quarter 32-30. Then heading into the second quarter, they got outscored 34-21. And then in the third quarter, they outscored the Milwaukee Bucks 36-23. And then the fourth quarter rolled around for the Chicago Bulls. Usually it's the Chicago Bulls falling apart in the fourth quarters of their games, but today it was a different story. The Milwaukee Bucks fell apart. The Chicago Bulls go on a 27-0 run to complete the game and outscore the Milwaukee Bucks 33-8 in the fourth quarter, winning the game 120-97. And there were some key players to look at this game. You know, leading scorer for the Bulls was Colin Sexton with 22, and on the other side was Bobby Portis with 18. Leading the Bulls in rebounds and assists was Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey had 14 rebounds and 10 assists. He had a triple-double tonight as well. Then on the other end for the Milwaukee Bucks, Jericho Sims had 11 rebounds and Ryan Rollins had 7 assists. And this triple-double from Josh Giddey is really big to see. You know, we've seen him struggling to come back from the injury. He hasn't really scored in double digits. I think before this game, he only scored in double digits twice before or since coming back from injury. So it's really good to see him come back and score and be the player that we naturally see him play as on the court. He had 20 points on 7 of 14 shooting, 5-11 from 3, so he shot the 3 ball very well. 14 rebounds, 10 assists. He did have 4 turnovers, but he made up for it with like how he played on the court and how he affected different plays on the court and how he made a difference. He also had 2 steals and 1 block to go along with that. Then you have Modest. He had 20 points, 7 for 15 shooting, 4 for 9 from 3, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. So, looking at this game, one key player to really look at, obviously you have Josh Giddey, Modest Buzelis, people like that, people that, you know, we kind of expect to be those leaders for the Chicago Bulls right now, or be the players that kind of stand out for the Chicago Bulls. Tonight, Leonard Miller, 27 minutes played, 15 points, 6-8 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Leonard Miller was a player, when we got him back from Minnesota, I was excited to see him play, but I didn't really know too much about his game. But watching him play, I saw a comment somewhere on I think it was an Instagram post or something like that. It was, Leonard Miller is what Bulls fans wanted Patrick Williams to be. And he showed flashes of that. Leonard Miller did show flashes of that tonight, and I can really get behind that comment that I saw. You know, he's only averaging 2.5 points on the season, 1 rebound, not even an assist, and 60% from the field. He never really got a chance in Minnesota with how good Minnesota is. You know, he was there for 3 seasons, including this year, and then got moved over to the Chicago Bulls. You know, he's played 5 games with the Bulls. He's averaging 4 points, 1 rebound, almost a block a game, shooting 100% from 3 and 80% from the field through 5 games. Obviously, he's seen very limited minutes, 8 minutes per game. But if you can be efficient in the minutes that you are given and kind of showcase what you are able to do on the court in the minutes that you have, you're going to get time like Leonard Miller has. And he really showcased what he can do, especially because of the injuries. The injuries have been a major factor for the Chicago Bulls, as we have talked about in previous videos. And with the injuries, that's really been the factor or the focal point of why Leonard Miller has been able to have a chance to showcase and shine on the basketball court with the Chicago Bulls. So with the win tonight over the Milwaukee Bucks, they are still ahead of us, sitting at 26-33. The Bucks are, and the Bulls are 25-36. So, you know, there's a lot of implications that go with these standings. So the Grizzlies won today, which is good. We want them to kind of keep winning. We want them to have a better record than the Chicago Bulls. Trailblazers lost today. They're sitting at 29-33. So with the Trailblazers losing, that's not helping our chances with them making the playoffs and us getting our draft pick. But they still are the 9th seed. So we're kind of banking off of them, making the play-in, and trying to fight their way towards the playoff spot. But this game against the Bucks was a game that was very exciting to watch. They got down 20 at one point, and it just looked like it was going to be another blowout loss for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to add to our losing streak, total of 12. We're going to make it 12 games while we're at it. But the Bulls really did fight back, and I really did think this was a game that they were going to lose. But, they showed some resilience. Going on a 27-0 run at the end of towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter is huge, and that's a big confidence booster, especially for young players like Leonard Miller, Modest Buzelis, and people like that are still trying to get used to fitting into certain roles on an NBA team. So that's really good to see and very exciting to see as a Bulls fan. But that's going to be all for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this Milwaukee game and how the Bulls kind of close out that fourth quarter. But that's going to be all. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.